Namaskar, and welcome to Hinduism Now Daily News. Today is Friday, March 11th, 2016, and we're here to present authentic Hindu news. In today's headlines, Srikant Srinivasan could be the first Hindu to serve on the US Supreme Court. Khadi handloom may become the official dress code for all Indian government offices on Fridays. Kumbh Mela preparations are well underway, with the heads of all major sampradayas gearing up for the grand celebration. From Gurukuls to German schools, Germany is inspiring the world with Sanskrit education. Will Germans soon be world leaders in the global Sanskrit revival? Now for the news in detail. Srikant Srinivasan could be the first Hindu to serve on the US Supreme Court. Good news for Indians. Srikant Srinivasan, an Indian born in Tirunelveli, Tamil Nadu, is being considered for nomination to the US Supreme Court. Srinivasan is an Indian American whose family migrated to the US in the late 1960s. He earned his bachelor's degree from Stanford University and a JD MBA from Stanford Law School and Stanford Graduate School of Business. He is a practicing Hindu, and at the time of swearing into the US Appeals Court, he placed his hand on Bhagavad Gita. If he is sworn in, Srinivasan, or Shri as he is known, will be the first Indian American justice at the United States Supreme Court. Srinivasan is currently a US Circuit Judge of the US Court of Appeals for District of Columbia Circuit. He is not only considered a favorite of Obama, who called him a trailblazer, but also his nomination was confirmed by a record 97-0 votes, which is no small achievement. Khadi may become Friday dress code in government offices in India. Friday dressing may have a new meaning for government employees, wearing khadi to work. The government is considering a plea from the Khadi and Village Industries Commission to appeal to employees to wear clothes made from the hand-spun fabric at least once a week to help boost khadi production and benefit small weavers across the nation. We are discussing this with the government and we will make an appeal. Employees can wear it to work on just one day. Even if everyone buys one khadi garment, imagine the rise in sales, said an officer. The central government currently has around 35 lakh employees, which does not include the railways and defense personnel. Kumbh Mela preparations are well underway, with the heads of all major Hindu sampradayas gearing up for the grand celebration. With the first Snan, Purnima Sahi, coming up on 22nd April, Hindus in India and around the world are already excitedly planning their pilgrimages to Ujjain. Simhasya Kumbh Mela begins when Guru, Jupiter, enters Simha, Leo, and the cosmic energy transforms River Shipra into the nectar of immortality. In Ujjain, land allotments have already been assigned to the Akada heads who will host the celebrations. The time to start planning your yatra is now. Kumbh Chalo. From Gurukuls to German schools, Germany is inspiring the world to learn Sanskrit. Will Germans be the eventual custodians of Sanskrit, its rich heritage and culture? If the demand for Sanskrit and Indology courses in Germany is any indication, that's what the future seems to hold. Unable to cope with the flood of applications from around the world, the South Asia Institute, University of Heidelberg, had to start a summer school in spoken Sanskrit in Switzerland, Italy, and, believe it or not, India too. When we started it 15 years ago, we were almost ready to shut it after a couple of years. Instead, we had to increase strength and take the course to other European countries, said Professor Dr. Axel Michaels, head of classical Indology at the university. In Germany, 14 of the top universities teach Sanskrit, classical and modern Indology, compared to just 4 in the UK. The summer school spans a month in August every year and draws applications from across the globe. So far, 254 students from 34 countries have participated in the course. Every year we have to reject many applications, said Dr. Michaels. Apart from Germany, the majority of students come from the US, Italy, UK, and the rest of Europe. Francesca Lunari, a medical student who has been studying Sanskrit at Heidelberg University, says, I am interested in psychoanalysis and must know how human thoughts originated through texts, cultures, and societies. I will learn Bangla also, to decipher the seminal works of Jirindra Sekhar Bose, a pioneer of Oriental psychiatry who has hardly been studied, even in India. Learning Sanskrit is the first step, she says. Languages such as Bangla, in which Bose had written his theories challenging Freud, might face a crisis similar to Sanskrit because of the onslaught of English, if these languages aren't preserved within their households, felt Dr. Hans Harder, head of the Department of Modern South Asian Languages and Literatures, Modern Indology, Heidelberg University. One can better understand evolution of politics and economics by studying Arthashastra by Chanakya, said Dr. Michaels. So this semester, the Institute is offering a course on human physiology and psychology in the early Upanishads by Anand Mishra, an IIT mathematics graduate who took up the study of Sanskrit for his research on evolving a more grammatically suitable computing language. Working on Panini's Sanskrit grammar, I realized it could be a great tool in computing language, said Mishra. Dr. Michaels feels that instead of indulging in a political and religious debate, Indians should try to preserve their heritage. Don't we conserve a rare old painting or sculpture? This is a live language and rich cultural heritage which might become the casualty of neglect, just as great civilizations like Hampi, the art of Ajanta, and temples of Konar got buried in oblivion. The majority of Sanskrit scholars, including those at Harvard, California, Berkeley, and the UK, are Germans. But why? Let's ask this question to ourselves and see what we can do to correct the situation that we have on our hands. That's the news for now from Hinduism Now. We will get back to you with more news tomorrow. Namaskar.